Hey everyone, welcome into the post-game rewind presented by Boyd Autobody and Glass. I'm Sam Calvert here alongside Ed Tait after a 19-10 win over the Montreal Alouettes here at Princess Auto Stadium. That makes 2 straight victories at home heading into the playoffs. Break this one down for us, Ed.
Well, let's start with this. 14 straight sellouts for this team. That's pretty amazing. We got to salute the crowd for that. Go ahead and salute, Sam. There we go. And then, the Bombers get to 10-8. That's 9 straight seasons with double-digit win total. We shouldn't undersell that too. This game to me had a bit of a weird vibe going in because of all the people that were not playing. No Zach Collaros, no Brady Oliveira, no James Waters, no Willie Jefferson, no Reddick Cramney, no Stanley Bryan, no Pokey Wilson, no Trey Vavel. So it was hard to get an understanding coming in what to expect from the Bombers. But they got it done today. As ugly as it was at times, they got it done, and I'm not sure about the momentum and how that carries into next week's game, but it's sure a lot better to come into the playoffs on a winning streak than to be having more questions surrounding this team. So there's a lot of positives to take out of this, as weird as the outcome might have been because of all the lineup changes.
For sure, yeah, you mentioned all those changes, who's not in, but the offense moved the ball when they had to, and the defense obviously shut down McLeod, Bethel Thompson for most of the day. Right. So who gets today's game ball?
Again, a difficult one to single out anybody in particular because nobody's stats are going to jump off the page. So I'm going to salute all the guys that are new to this team that stepped up. And not just new in the last few weeks, but new in the last little while. Chris Ike had a 65-yard run. That was pretty cool for a guy that's kind of on the special teams mostly. The 2 new defensive ends, Matthew Jaworski and Kidron Jenkins, both had sacks today. Talked to Jaworski after the game. His grandpa came up from Buffalo to watch him play. That's pretty cool in your first game to see your grandkid get a sack. I thought Terry Wilson had his moments too. It got that run to the 1-yard line for the Bombers' touchdown was massive, and kind of thrust into the moment when Chris Strevler got hurt. There's a lot of guys like that. Matthew Peterson had over 100 yards combined from scrimmage with the 80-some yards rushing and then another close to 30 yards in the receiving. So all those guys that had been waiting in the wings for an opportunity to step up sure did today. And that's a kind of thing that a team can kind of cling to going into the playoffs.
Yeah, Terry Wilson definitely showed flashes tonight, and Chris Ike, his yards per carry clearly off the charts after tonight. We still need to figure out who we're going to play in that first round of playoffs, whether it's Montreal in the crossover or Calgary in the West semifinal. But regardless of the opponent, what do the Bombers need to work on in practice this weekend?
Yeah, it's interesting because there's a good vibe in that room right now, and that's what winning does, right? And I don't think it matters to them which team Winnipeg plays. On paper, Winnipeg got thumped a couple times by Calgary. That seems like eons ago. They did win a game in Montreal earlier this year and get it done here, so maybe that kind of momentum helps too. But for me, what's got to happen is the defense feels good about today's game, so does the special teams. The offense, all those guys had a day off today. Maybe they gained something from watching from the sidelines or up in the booth or wherever they watched it that they can take into the practice week this week and into Montreal or into Calgary as momentum themselves. That's the area that's under the microscope right now, is the offense, because the defense is doing its job. Special teams has been solid too. But if the offense can find that gear, man, this could be a scary team. Let's face it. This team's been to the last 5 Grey Cups for a reason. And whenever they get into the ring with somebody, especially in the playoffs, they got a puncher's chance, and they're kind of a veteran fighter kind of thing. So that's going to be interesting going into the playoffs, regardless of the opponent, is how Winnipeg gets geared up this week heading into next Saturday's game.
Yeah, let's hope they can figure it out, because we want to be back here on this field in a couple weeks. Definitely. Thanks for the breakdown, Ed. That was the post-game rewind presented by Boyd Autobody and Glass. Thanks for watching.